the Broncos play the Dragons at 2 p.m. on Sunday afternoon, and I'm in two minds about this game. We aren't going to lose to the Dragons, and oh god, we're going to lose to the Dragons. It seems that this has been the week that everyone turned on the Broncos. Like, the Panthers' loss was an indication that the team still had some of those old bad habits. Then the South's loss showed that maybe nothing had changed actually, and that you can't buy a ticker or whatever attempt they made that didn't work over the offseason. But then I compared the two lineups, and come on, to put it respectfully, this Dragons team would have been incredible in 2019. 3 of the Dragons games have been decided by 1 point so far this season, all of them losses, including last week. And while I'll admit to not watching Dragons games very closely, I did last weekend against the Wires, and yet they're the Dragons. It's Kyle Flanagan and the last contract heroes plus guys no one knows. They're actually paying not to play for the club, and those guys aren't even good. And it's just another symptom of the Broncos' decline that I'm made to watch games that don't involve my team. With the lineup this Broncos team has, I should be justified in my entitlement of thinking, give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses, we'll flog them. Except, look out, the team's playing while the sun is up on a Sunday. Uh-oh, they hate that. And even worse, it's the early Sunday game, and it'll probably be raining since Broncos games are just in the rain now. Long turnaround be damned, this is a team that plays primetime Friday on a dry track and nothing else. On the other hand, the Broncos are 4-2 at Suncorp this season, and 2 of those were technically away games, so call it 4-1, holding on to the win for dear life. And this was supposed to be the Ben Hunt revenge game, but because of injury, it's the Ezra Mam return game, and I'm excited to see Ezra back out there. Ezra in full flight is one of the most exciting players in the league, and I know that everyone wants to talk about how they would have punished him for how long and gone back on their memory of NRL scandals. And sure, dude, you got your likes. Let's return to reality where Ezra has served out the punishment that the league gave him, not the one he chose, and is allowed to play again, not sitting out longer by his own election because he heard a podcast. Anyway, excited to have a guy with a running game that might give them some options on 4th and 5th tackle. I would hope that Ezra's defense is closer to his 2023 form than his 2024 form, which was bad. And the Broncos have conceded a whole bunch of tries this season in the channel between 6 and 11, but Wilson has been doing pretty well in that spot. Piakura okay, but Mem and Piakura together last season were awful. Anyone could score if they just cut right back in. They found changes of direction very difficult to guard. But at this point, there's no section of the park that the Broncos are really defending well, so it's just another issue. Now, the biggest issue, and I'm sorry, but there's no nuance here, the Broncos aren't playing hard and have no ticker, and they went on a boat together last week. And there's some stuff about guys not setting their plays up properly. Maybe a couple of times they're supposed to run a straight line and let the back line get set, but start going sideways thinking that they can make a play themselves, and the same old throwing the ball around aimlessly, but really they just don't play hard. Why do they look like 17 blokes who just happen to rock up in the same jersey? These guys have played together for years. Reynolds has been here 4 years. The Stars aren't even young anymore. Carrigan's 27 now. This is the start of his prime, and they all have the same chemistry and commitment as the mate of another guy who's rocked up to fill in numbers and is playing in Vans. Yeah, mate, thanks for helping out. Don't worry about paying the fee. When Madge accepted the job, I'm sure that he didn't expect it would involve convincing a whole bunch of professional athletes, some of whom are state of origin and international players, that they have to play hard. If we could get an insight into the players' homes, I can guarantee that all of them have a couple baskets of washing that they haven't folded yet. Like, yeah, I did the laundry, by which I mean I left it in the machine for 3 days and I had to run it again because it stank, then put it on the line and it rained for 2 days, and now I've taken it down and put the basket on my bed so that I'd fold it, but I'm actually just putting the basket on the ground and going to sleep. And hey, what do you know? Now I've worn all those clothes again, time to do another wash. That, as my wife has told me many times, doesn't count. So Jordan Ricky, who has once again forgotten how to tackle and how to play football more generally, presents no more of a threat in attack than the phantom of the thought of, man, did we dodge a bullet letting David Fafita go, or would things have been different if he stayed? Iron your collared shirts and hang them, all at the same time, not on an as-needs basis. On the bench, Pakes, Jensen, Piakura, Baker. Hate that. Piakura and Jensen I'm happy with. Piakura has been up and down, but his highs have been pretty high. Jensen has been amazing. I don't have any criticism of him. Pakes' play has been a bit down since he came off the bench. Things tend to slow down when he comes on, and he takes like 2.5 seconds to play the ball. He's better working with front rowers with fresh legs. And Fletcher Baker, who was fine for 12 minutes last week, but when you roll the will Fletcher Baker play good 20-sided dice and it hits yes once, well done, now stop. It's not happening again. That's called the gambler's fallacy. I want Moser and I want Takura, and I want Carrigan back to lock, but it seems like they're not looking to make those changes until the bye next week. So please, 1 through 17, lock in before the week off. Why have you already got a stencil on your leg for the sleeve tattoo you're getting done next week? All right, that'll do. Let's see how this goes. Talk to you on Sunday.